Okay, here we are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the STARtrack webinar on innovative solution and affordable housing. Thank you all for joining us. Over the next 90 minutes, we have an agenda of things that we will be discussing. So we're going to look at the affordable housing initiatives, and we're going to have a small Q&A following that. So if there is anything you would like to ask, please feel free to use the chat. And then we will have three presentations from three projects, Deacon 2, Sincere, and Fortesi, which will showcase the innovation that they are developing, which is going to be incredibly interesting. And we encourage you all to ask questions as well in the for the Q&A that will follow. The agenda is really packed. We have incredible speakers today with us, so please, as mentioned to the speaker as well, enjoy the next 90 minutes of webinar, and we hope to see a lovely conversation ongoing in the chat for the Q&A. So without further ado, I hand it over to Novatech for the introduction of the STARtrack project.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Lisa Andria and I am here today with Lise Reynaud. We are both working for Novatech, which is the coordinator of the STARtrack project. I don't know if I can switch the slide.
I don't think I can. I don't know, Mariana, if you have the power to do that, but I think I will need to do it. I'm sorry.
If you can switch.
I think only you, Julia.
Okay, thank you. So as I said, I am here with Lise Reynaud, and unfortunately, Claudia, which is the head of European Affairs at Novatech, could not join us today. But I will briefly present you Novatech. We are a French technological research center which is dedicated to sustainable construction and renovation. And our mission is to support the transition of the built environments toward greater sustainability, energy efficiency, and people-centric solutions. And as I said, we are the coordinator of STARtrack, and our role is to ensure strong collaboration among all of the partners, connect innovation with real market needs, and facilitate the feasibility and impact of the solutions at a European scale. Maybe we can go to the next slide, please. So now I will present what is STARtrack. So STARtrack stands for Support and Networks to Accelerate the Construction and Renovation Innovations Track to Market. It is a 3 years coordination and support action funded by Horizon Europe, running from May 2024 until April 2027. The project builds upon the B4P Innovation Cluster Network, so B4P network, which is initially developed through the Nebula project. And our key ambition is to expand and strengthen this network so that the innovation in sustainable construction can be adopted faster, more widely, and with greater impact. Okay, so as you can see on the next slide, this is the consortium of the project, which is composed by innovation experts, emerging B4Ps, consultants and SMEs, public entities, and construction platforms and associations. So on the next slide, I will present the main objectives and impacts of the STARtrack projects. As you can see, there are 4 objectives. The expansion, on the next slide, please. On the expansion side, which aim to integrate new clusters to cover all of the EU member states and enlarge the B4P communities. I will not go into details of each point, but as you can see on this slide, we have the B4P network, which covers 21 European countries with 34 B4Ps, 18 emerging and 16 prospective. So the network is growing, and you can learn more on the B4P network on our website. On the next slide, we have the next objective, which is facilitation. So the STARtrack project support clusters with innovation and funding access, including digital platforms, training, and various guidelines. So on the next slide, you can see that you can search and access innovative products and solutions on the Meta Building platform. On the next slide, you can see the next objective, which is empowering, which leads to increasing competitiveness and efficiency of the clusters and their members. So on the next slide, you can see that we are working with 3 open innovation testbeds, so OITBs, in the STARtrack project, so Meta Building Labs, Mesrory, and iClimber Build, that you can also find on the Meta Building platform. And on the next slide, you can see the final objective, which is the impact. So STARtrack aims to help demonstration and scaling of innovative solutions in real buildings and real markets. So on the next slide, you can see that we are organizing various initiatives, such as the Finance Forum, which happens. The first event is organized tomorrow, and is a roundtables gathering innovation clusters and private investors and financiers. So in short, the project aims to accelerate the uptake of people-centric sustainable innovations in the built environment. So now what are the services that we can offer you as the members of the B4Ps? So for the members, you can have better knowledge on finance regulation and available fundings. You also have access to a community of interest and best practices, trainings and tools to support impactful innovation, and skills and knowledge to increase member and competitiveness. And now, on the next slide, you can see that STARtrack also offers to B4P members access to additional funding for project development and demonstration, international visibility for products and services, and access to European markets, knowledge on innovation process and access to tools and innovation experts, and finally, a knowledge on EU policies, providing strategic advantage and improved competitiveness at EU level. So whether you are a cluster manager or a cluster member, the project provides you a wide range of tools, knowledge, guidelines to accelerate your innovation journey. So now to conclude, STARtrack is more, it's a project, it's a European community of innovation working together to make sustainable and affordable housing a reality. So you can learn more about STARtrack on our website. And now, if you have some questions, I'm happy to answer.
I think, sorry, Lisa, we will wait for the questions after Nerea's presentation about the Affordable Housing Initiative. So we have a small Q&A there.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right with you?
Yes,
and
yes.
Again, for those that join, as we were going through, please, we have a Q&A section in the team, so you can ask your question directly there, and we will pick it up during the 2 Q&A moments. So thank you so much, Lisa, for your presentation about the STARtrack project and for welcome everyone to the STARtrack group. And we are now moving on to Affordable Housing Initiative, a presentation by ECTP. So Nerea, all yours.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Nerea Gomez, and I work for ECTP, which is the European Construction and Sustainable Built Environment Technology Platform. So if we go to the first slide, thank you. So today, as part of the work we do in ECTP, I will presenting you some of the work we have done under this umbrella of the so-called Affordable Housing Initiative and 2 different projects. If we go to the first slide, I would like to start giving you a little bit of context. So I guess most of you have already heard about the renovation wave, but in case you haven't, you should know that this strategy supports new investment, starting with public and less efficient buildings, and it supports digitalizations and creates employment and growth opportunity across the renovation supply chain. So as part of this strategy, we have the Affordable Housing Initiative, which first works to make sure social and affordable housing facilities also benefit from the renovation wave, and it guarantees local social and affordable housing projects access to the necessary technical and innovation capacity and project support. How we contribute to do that? So through different projects that have been funded under this initiative. The target is first to pilot 100 lighthouse renovation and construction districts, then mobilize cross-sectoral project partnerships, and promote efficient access and use of innovative processes. So if we go to the next slide, please, I'll start with the work we have done in the first project. It was called the European Affordable Housing Consortium. It was like the first phase. And if we go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So this project was funded and it started in 2022. It was coordinated by Housing Europe, and we were 10 partners which were tasked by the European Commission with the takeoff of this European Affordable Housing Initiative, with the aim to create a rich and diverse capacity building program, providing a set of different tools on how to renovate homes for people and also have a strong social impact on communities. And then invite peers, invite experts with solid experience to meet and share in detail their renovation path and their good practices. So through the project, we provided support in order to meet the targets of the renovation wave aimed at affordable housing. And we delivered the first wave of lighthouse renovation district that included these innovative features. So our target audience was housing providers, SMEs, social enterprises, public authorities, and suppliers. If we go now to the next slide, you'll see the results of this first phase. So first, we published 3 blueprints, so 3 guidelines with tried and tested approaches. The structure of these blueprints was, well, first, we thought about different questions that could have all this target audience that I previously mentioned, on how to plan and implement innovative renovations, and then try to answer them in order to help public, cooperatives, social housing providers, SMEs, and everyone in order to answer these questions on first, project implementation and financial feasibility, technical and technological innovations, and social inclusiveness and livability. We supported the first 22 districts out of these 100, out of this target of 100 lighthouse districts. And we organize different events. We have study visits. We have mentors to guide also these districts. We created a funding simulator. And in total, we engaged more than 150 housing providers, cities, SMEs through different events. If we go now to the next slide, I will continue with the work we are doing nowadays with this second phase. This is a second project, which is now called Affordable Housing Initiative European Partnership. So if we go to the next slide, thank you. So this time we are a smaller consortium. We are now 6 partners with the same objective, which is to foster the new construction or regeneration of social and affordable neighborhoods by supporting organizations across Europe through a tailored and comprehensive learning program, which we have called the Accelerator Programme. This includes a financial and technical advisory, mentorship, study visits, and joint capacity building events. So the program, the objective is to empower organizations with the knowledge, skills, and all the resources needed to develop holistic and sustainable approaches in order to get the targets of the renovation wave aimed at the affordable housing. That means address energy poverty, promote social inclusion, ensure both newly built or renovated housing units remain affordable, innovative, and inclusive, and also to reduce residential building-related greenhouse gas emissions. If we go now to the next slide, which is, I guess, the last one, here you can see the list of main outcomes of this second phase of the project. So first, we will continue supporting lighthouse districts. In this case, the target is to reach 35 lighthouse districts across Europe. Then host practical workshops in order to promote exchanges of best practices and solutions. Also organize different kind of events, seminars for public, cooperative, and social housing providers, SMEs, etc. Organize also study visits to different European neighborhoods in which we can find some of these good practices or best practices that I mentioned. And also deliver online classes and webinars through this Accelerator program. So in fact, it is an e-learning platform where we are creating different courses on different topics interested on, well, for everyone interested in renovation techniques, also topics such as financials, energy efficiency, etc. Then, well, I have included in the slides the website of the project, where you will be able to find all this information of both projects, also all the results and outcomes of the first phase, including, for example, the blueprints I've mentioned. And before I conclude, I would like to mention one thing. So maybe you are now wondering, what are exactly these lighthouse districts, how they are selected. Maybe some of you or your members are interested in becoming one. So the strategy we are following is from time to time, we already launched the first call last year. It was December 2024, in which we search for different districts across Europe that they have to, well, to be validated by us and the European Commission according to some eligibility criteria. Once the districts are selected, we will ensure that they receive support in different fields that I mentioned, such as social innovation, technical and technological approaches, financial feasibility, etc. And they will be matched with an expert according to their needs. They will be able to participate in this e-learning platform, also to the different events that we organize. And for your information, we are planning a next call that will be launched probably by the end of this year, maybe end of November, beginning of December, but we will keep you updated. I will share the information in due time in case any of you is interested. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nerea, for the introduction on the affordable housing initiatives. We now have a little bit of time for a smaller Q&A. So I don't know if there is any question from the participant for both the presentation from Novatech about the STARtrack project or for ECTP on the affordable housing initiatives. I'm looking at the Q&A, and okay, I don't see any question right now. So I'm just any clarification, anything you would like to address? Otherwise, I think we can start. I think we have a first question. Sorry. How do you address different legislation for renovation and energy efficiency?
So yeah, this is a very interesting question, but indeed it's a very difficult to answer. So through the project, we have been trying to address these the different legislations, but unfortunately it's very difficult. We have focused on the European level because we do not have the resources to address the different legislations by country or even by region. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that.
Thank you. Any other question you would like to raise? Going one, going twice. Okay, we're gonna have another session for Q&A at the end. So if anything comes to your mind in the meantime, please feel free to write it in the chat so we can pick it up at the end before the closure. So now we move on with the presentation of the three projects that we invited to participate. And the first one is Decode 2. So I kindly ask Philippos to start the presentation. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. So, this is the presentation for the DECO2 project. My name is also Philippos Anagnostopoulos from ICP, the Institute for European Energy and Climate Policy. Now, DECO2 stands for Dynamic Decarbonization Pathways Framework. That's integrating technological, social, and policy innovations for sustainable renovations in the built environment. I know that as most European projects, this is a mouthful of a title, so the next slides are here to basically explain what's happening. DECO2 is a rather big-ish project. It has 7 million of funding and brings together 17 partners from 7 countries. We focus on 3 core important demos, and it's a project that lasts for 4 years. We just finished the first year with quite success, and we're entering the next phase. Next slide.
Sorry.
This is, just a consortium. I guess you recognize quite a few of the partners. We see we have quite a big base in Spain, which is one of the core pilots, and also in Germany and Austria. And also apologies for the mistakes in the map. I guess sometimes we make slides a bit quickly and we miss parts of Italy and Greece. Anyways, let's continue. So let's go to the stated aims. What is the scope? It's to improve the energy efficiency, circularity, sustainability of the built environment. And here we want to apply these integrated approaches that will, in practice, demonstrate these pathways for decarbonization of the building stock. Apologies. We really look at how innovations can be integrated, and these are mostly design techniques, products and components, construction demolition waste, how can that be reused, and new products that incorporate recycled or reused elements. And all of these are applied in 3 demos where we take a value chain approach that spans the planning, design, budgeting, regulatory, construction practices, administrative, everything that's actually needed, and also how to reach the market with some of those materials. Next slide. Very briefly, the structure, again, the 3 pillars of technological, social, and policy innovation. And on the left side, you see mostly an iterative approach where we try to focus on the value chain of bio-based materials, reuse, prefabrication. We want to have an industrial symbiosis, and we want all of our activities to be integrated with community approaches. Next slide. Now, I know it's a bit boring, but let's go through the objectives. The first key objective that we have is the implementation of this technological innovation, circular also innovations, to decarbonize the built environment. And here we have recyclable materials, digital manufacturers, BIM essentially, and data-driven pathways across the value chain, such as tracking of materials. That's the first technological pillar. The second pillar is on social innovation, where we want these more people-centered and inclusive approaches for every activity that we have in the project, including the development phase, post-occupancy assessment, and the like. And the third, very important, is the policy innovation objective and pathway, where we need to provide more practical guidelines to public authorities on how to implement these decarbonization pathways, how to assist them with overcoming barriers, how to help them establish sandboxes that allow materials to reach the market phase much faster. It's also the effectiveness and viability of these digital solutions, quite some regarding blockchain actually. Apologies. And we also look at the scalability and replicability. I have to apologize, I'm a little bit sick and it's difficult to speak.
No worries at all, Philippos. If you need 1 second to grab a glass of water, just go ahead and
actually, yes, let me be back in a moment.
No worries. And in the meantime, as we wait for Philippus to be back, so we just a little bit of housekeeping. We will share the presentations that you see right now with the participants. So you will receive a copy of this presentation, and you will also get access to the recording. So if in case you've missed something or something you want to refer back to, you will be able to do that. So you will receive a follow-up email from our side. And obviously, we encourage all of you to have a look at the website of the different projects. So starting with STARtrack and then B4P, but also the project that we will see in a minute. So we will have Sincere, Fortesi, and as well the Affordable Housing Initiative. So I think that will definitely be good source of information if there is anything specific that you would like to look a little bit more in detail. I hope it's a little bit better now, Philippus. I think you are muted, sorry.
Okay, I thought it was
okay. Now, yes.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Next one. So briefly to outline the innovations on the technological side, we look at the construction and optimization of how to reuse the construction and demolition waste. Some of those go, for example, for 3D printing of a new site. We're also looking a lot at bio-based materials, mostly, let's say, from plant-based or mycelium. Every one of these will also have a material passport. And that's based on essentially a blockchain solution that traces the reuse and transport of the materials. And everything also goes into a BIM catalog that can track the evolution of those materials, the prices. Important is the living labs as the second pillar of innovation, where everything is really tested along with the community and also supports the replication strategies, policies, and the various learning activities we have. And lastly, quite importantly, is that we apply regulatory sandboxes that help us reduce the time that it takes from an innovation, say the mycelium composites, to the market, because there we have a lot of difficulties with standardization, certification, and how to meet industry standards. Next slide. So I'll go a bit quickly. We have the 3 demo sites. One is in Limerick in Ireland, where we look at the bio-based mycelium components. The second is in Valencia in Spain, where we have the municipal library that's actually being dismantled. And here we do get a lot of material, and we'll see how those can be reused. So there's a very good material passport, everything is tracked. We see how those can be reused. We have an idea of a mosaic and 3D printed in a second site. And this is one of the strongest regulatory sandboxes that fosters innovation. And let's go to the third demo too. This is a very interesting one. So in Graz, there is Terrassenhaus in Lintung, if I can even pronounce it correctly, where it's a very beautiful brutalist almost neighborhood. And here we have a core aspect of social innovation, mainly how can so many owners come together and implement really difficult solutions in actually a historic and protected building. No need to go further into the specificities of this demo. I think we can proceed. Now, the regulatory sandboxes do apply on every one of these demos, but we also have 3 satellites, and that will be in the Netherlands, in Germany, and in Greece, where we're going to support with the mapping of circular materials and support with further potential replication. That's it. Now, what we expect that will happen in the B4P project as it stands. So we have 10, actually we're over 10 innovative solutions for the built environment. And this includes the prefabricated systems, the 3D printing, the robotic recycling, the new insulation materials and plant-based adhesives, as we said with the Massilium, for example, and so on. We also have some more innovative service and technologies, including the use of previous one, the BIM-based building digital twins, the toolbox of circular innovation. We also have the blockchain tracking, where material passports become obligatory as of 2026, and that also allows for very strong replication activities. We mentioned the living labs, and of course we're going to have quite a few stakeholders and professionals that get trained in these methods. Next one. And yes, in closing really, I think we have one or two more slides. We want to increase the number of decarbonization pathways for zero emission buildings that targets the whole value chain. In doing this, we want to have more engagement and participation of the wider value chain and the various clusters we might have in the region. Importantly, the reason why we actually do all of this is to allow for new materials and construction methods and technologies to enter the market, and whatever that means for certification. And of course, increase the awareness, access of public administrations to the use of these project techniques. And of course, for the market, improve the business opportunities and reduce the risks for these investments. Let's go to the next one. Yes, I added this also because we're in a bid for people. Apologies, I will not go through it, but you have the slides. It's less important, but essentially Deco2 is a project that really maps very well on the build for people objectives. So that's it on my side. My sincere apologies. Sometimes I get a bit sick.
Thank you for going through this.
And any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. Thank you very much.
We have a few questions in the chat, but we will take them at the end of the 3 projects presentation. So we took note and then we'll get back to it. Thank you so much in the meantime. Perfect. So we now move to the second project. So we now have Sincere and Ioannis.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Sincere is a research project that is focused on the development of innovative materials that can facilitate the renovation and reuse of both historic but also modern buildings. And in the next slides, I'm going to present what are the main achievements and how we can contribute in this target. I think everybody is aware that 70% of EU building stock is energy insufficient, while the greenhouse emissions related to the use of non-efficient buildings reaches to 35 to 40%. So having this in mind, next slide. The Sincere project develops and implements its objectives in 4 different scales. We start from the material scale. We try to integrate in the buildings the material solution that we develop, and then we try to engage neighborhoods and the society in order to get feedback and also inform people for our innovations. In the next slide. We can see that at material scale, we mainly focus on the design, synthesis, development, lab testing, and optimization of the new materials. At the buildings and neighborhood scale, we demonstrate our materials in real pilot cases, and we invite people to participate, asking them to evaluate and give us feedback on the materials, while the utmost outcome will be to benefit the built heritage of Europe for a more sustainable and resilient future. Next slide. So our objectives are grouped in three categories. First of all, we want to engage people. That's why we use buildings as the key player, as the main stage for raising stakeholders' awareness. And at the same time, we try to validate our technologies in 4 demonstration sites, plus 1 satellite that we have in Malta. Next slide. We have 2 objectives related to the development of digital tools that can facilitate both decision making, but also to explain to non-experts the different material properties, but also what will be the benefit to implement and demonstrate the different renovation and retrofitting scenarios. And finally, next slide. The third group of objectives is to develop sustainable materials that can reduce the environmental impact of buildings during the restoration phase, reduce the energy demands of renovated buildings during the operation. That's in that way can be more attractive to the citizens and force people to require for innovative materials and renovation rather than demolition. And finally, we enable energy harvesting during the building operation, and that's why we reduce again the overall balance of consumption and harvesting of the buildings. Next slide. The main aspect of Sincere projects is the development of new types of binders that can be used for both restoration, renovation, but also building purposes that have reduced environmental footprint. We explore 3 technologies: the lime calcine glaze cements, the reduction of clinker in innovative mixtures, where we replace clinker with sustainable pozzolans. And finally, we introduce the concept of recyclability. We use recycled concrete both as a binder but also as a supplementary cementitious material. Next slide. Another approach that we use in order to reduce the environmental impact is the reduction of the material that is needed for the restoration and renovation action compared to conventional ones. That's why we develop ultra-high performance concrete, textile reinforced mortars, and we extend the service life of the renovation and building mixtures by introducing self-healing admixtures that protect the buildings itself and extend the service life of both materials, but also of interventions. In the next slide. Regarding the thermal retrofitting of the building, we introduce and we explore 2 options: the introduction of phase change materials. Phase change materials has a known minus, that is the cost, the high cost. So we develop and we explore the use of low-cost phase change materials that can increase thermal efficiency, but also reduce the renovation cost. And at the same time, we introduce the hemp, natural fibers in renovation mixtures, especially for historic buildings, where it can be more compatible with existing structures. Next slide. Also, in a more aggressive approach, we develop radiative or passive cooling coatings that can reduce the overall energy that is transferred inside the building. If you see at the graph downstairs, the bottom part, the temperature difference on top and just below the coating is almost 20 degrees. This is due to the high reflectivity and emissivity of the developed materials, and I'm going to show you an example of the benefits that can we expect from this technology. Next slide. And at the same time, we reduce the energy consumption during the restoration and renovation phase, but we develop technologies and materials for energy harvesting. In the Sincere project, we use cellulose-based electrodes, so very sustainable, with very low environmental impact electrodes that can be used for producing high-efficiency photovoltaic panels. In this example, we have developed two large-scale photovoltaic panels that can convert 23% of the sun energy to power energy, which is a very high amount for transparent photovoltaics. In the next slide. So in order to facilitate decision-making, but also engagement with the citizens, but also with the building authorities, the people that manages the buildings, we develop different tools like BIM, building information models that are in collaboration with digital twins, and extended reality tools such as virtual reality, mixed reality, and so on, that in order to demonstrate both material, building, and energy features. The next slide. Simultaneously, at material scale, we use multi-physics and multi-scale models for study and optimizing the material properties on the left part. So supports and accelerates the development of materials. We have developed already fast prediction tools. The tools are available on the website of Sincere for the practitioners to make their own adjustments on the renovation mix. We integrate, one of the main innovations of Sincere projects is the fact that we integrate in all scenarios the real scale future climate change models. And finally, we use the building energy models for demonstrating the energy performance scenario. Next. So from material properties and renovation needs, we integrate future climate scenarios, and in that way, we are able to implement and evaluate the different renovation scenarios, but also to demonstrate the potential of energy harvesting in different geographic areas or districts. Next. This is the main methodology for supporting informed decision, the different scales and models that we use. We start from building, we integrate the information in a BIM file, we integrate building scenarios, and then we engage with practitioners, citizens, and authorities. Next. Two examples. In a traditional building in Greece, the energy savings by applying phase change materials can reach 26%, while in Madrid, by applying only the radiative cooling paints and the solar panels, we can estimate 40% of energy reduction per year. Next. So in order to communicate those results with the citizens, we follow the so-called heritage cycle. So we try to demonstrate and make citizens understand the value of the buildings, and in a way that by valuing the buildings, the building values and a necessity for renovation, they want to care about it. By caring, they start enjoying, and by enjoying again, they will ask for more understanding, for more input, and they will be able to support EU policies and research priorities. Next. So we follow the methodology of inform, demonstrate, train, or educate and engage in the different activities. Next. As I told you in the beginning, we use the sites, the main sites as the key actor, and we have introduced the building stories where, next slide, we ask citizens to observe the buildings, frame a spot, and tell their own stories. Next. We participate in different conferences, and then we organize also special sessions in thematic conferences. Next. We organize a workshop in different disciplines, like the one in architectural design. Next. But also more technical workshops for demonstrating the material properties and the way to implement. Next. We provide booklets for the material properties that we develop for the practitioners. Next. We participate in exhibition and fairs demonstrating our results. Next. We publish scientific papers. The next one. And this is the consortium that makes everything happen within Sincere Project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ioannis, for your overview of the Sincere project. And I see there's a little bit of conversation ongoing in the chat right now, but we'll follow that up at the end of the free presentation. So we now move to the last project presentation, which is for Tesi. And we have Cristina Sianidou to present this. Cristina?
Yes, hi.
Sorry, let me just
Hello,
mute you.
everyone. Thank you, Julia. So we're Fortesi, as Philippos mentioned earlier, European projects tend to have huge titles. So ours is Central Bank Digital Currency and powered by smart performance contracts for efficiency, sustainability, inclusive, and energy use. So let's go through what this means, actually. Thank you. So Fortesi, in a nutshell, our overall goal is to accelerate the renovation wave, the EU renovation wave, and make renovations easier and impactful, of course. So what we do about this, we have pre-designed renovation packages, which I will describe a little bit further. And we have been developing digital tools like homogenized data platform, data analytics and behavioral recommendations tool, measurements and verification module, smart contracts for EPC models. We have a gamified app for users. And of course, a marketplace, which again, I will describe, I will talk about a few slides after that. And we have 7 pilots in 6 countries. We have houses, we have like residential areas like houses, apartments. We have a museum in Greece. We have a school in Latvia, a pool in Poland, and made other public buildings throughout Europe. The impact that we are aiming to achieve is energy use reduction, CO2 emissions cut, better comfort and indoor air quality for everyone, and easier innovation pathways. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our key innovations sum up in these 6 pillars. So we have comfort price, so the mobile app that I mentioned. We aim to raise awareness of the cost of comfort through these and users engagement decision making. We have MNV and EPC in smart contracts for ESCOs. We have financing opportunities. We offer alternative financing, green loans, which I will talk about in a few slides. And we also use crowdfunding through a partner. We have several demonstrations, as I mentioned, with measured impact of renovation on all buildings' performance. We offer renovation packages for application and our one-stop shop marketplace. Next slide. Thank you. So getting into the mobile app. So in the mobile app, measurements. There are measurements for indoor environmental conditions that are visualized and monitored so that human comfort is ensured. Also, energy savings can be achieved through the relevant recommendations for the tenants of all the buildings, either residential or public. For the mobile app, we also have introduced the comfort price, which is the measurements in the mobile app were not enough to engage users after based on our experience. So we decided to add the comfort price factor to show the cost of comfort and the impact of better renovations. So as I said, we have online visualization for the consumption, and there are reportings of energy savings. There are challenges, recommendations and notifications visualization. There are badges and green euro rewards and comfort price concept to engage the users. Next slide, please. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So a little bit, a few words about the alternative financing. I know that what you're seeing might be kind of confusing, so let me go through it. So let's start, let's say, with a common scenario. Let's say you're eligible for a state-funded loan for renovation that you want to do. But it doesn't, the state-funded loan that you find does not cover the full cost that you need. So instead of using your own money to bridge the gap, you can take a green loan. In Fortesy, we work with two types of green loans from two project partners that we work with, CCO2 and GoParity. The CCO2 green loan, this model allows you to repay using both energy savings and the CO2 rewards that I mentioned earlier. For example, as you reduce your carbon footprint through the renovation and through the app that you use while you're part of Fortesy, you will receive small financial rewards that are called green euros to help pay back the loan. So this makes it easier for you to repay, while also contributed very positively to climate change mitigation. And then we have the GoParity Green Loan, which is backed up by crowdfunding, as I mentioned. So the GoParity Green Loan actually offers lower interest rates and simplified application processes, making it a more accessible option for building owners. The key to repay this loan is through the energy savings that you generate by improving your building's efficiency. And over time, as your energy bills decrease, you can use the savings to pay back the loan itself, reducing the financial burden. So unlike the traditional brown state-funded loans, which come with higher interest rates usually, and you can benefit from energy efficient improvements. Green loans enables you to repay the loan through a combination of energy savings, eco rewards, and reduced interest rates. So in some cases, green loans even come with zero interest, which makes them very attractive and very, very much manageable. Next slide, please. So here are the renovation packages and the tailored business models that I mentioned. So we have a portfolio of innovative renovation technologies, which deliver measurable energy savings, CO2 reduction, and improved comfort. We have integrated solutions that combine prefabricated facades, heat pumps, smart windows, insulation and stuff, digital enablers for performance guarantees, so data analytics, MNV module, and smart contracts that I mentioned earlier, and business and financing models that make energy efficiency investments more attractive and less complex for all the people that are involved. Next slide. So I would like to show you two specific pilots out of the 7 that we have, because I think that these are the ones that have the most progress until now and are the most impressive. So for pilot 1, we have opted a museum that's dedicated to Philhellenism, which is located in Athens, Greece. Next slide, please. The renovation package applied. Next slide. The renovations that we applied there were external thermal insulation, 2 on the north facade. We integrated PV panel smart windows installed on the upper floors, an advanced mechanical ventilation system with heat recovery, a green roof incorporating shading pergolas and the rooftop cafe terrace, and conventional rooftop photovoltaic panels for grid connection. Next slide. Sorry, yes. Yeah, no. Go. Okay, so this is a first image of how the rooftop looks like right now. I want you to think that before that nothing was there. It was just blank, like a rooftop that had nothing. And right now, we have really tried hard to incorporate a lot of greenery and a lot of shading for people that want to go up there and have a coffee or something, because we really believe that having like a breath of fresh air and a breath of green in the very center of Athens, which this museum is located, is really important for people and for the energy efficiency journey that we're on. Next slide, please. Okay, now we go to pilot 4. This pilot is happening in Portugal. There are a lot of different districts, which I would not go through because a lot of them, I don't know how they are pronounced. So it's in Portugal. There's 10 single-family homes. Next slide, please. And the slide after that. Great. So the renovations here were efficient windows for energy saving, self-regulating or manual vents in window frames, self-regulating air vents with sound attenuator for external walls, bathrooms, thermal insulation in the attic or in the roof, thermal insulation in the shutter boxes, thermal insulation composite system, and external thermal insulation under the floor. And of course, double flow mechanical ventilation system. Keep in mind that these homes were part of like they were more poverty homes, like homes that had near to nothing when the renovation started. So all of these things are actually working very well so far, because for them it's like the change of their everyday life in a very great extent. Let's move on. Thank you. So, as I said, there was a lot of results during these renovations, after these renovations. So we have improved comfort and well-being, of course, more stable indoor temperature and lower energy bills after all. So for the comfort in terms of temperature, we have the yellow part of the circle is how much more comfortable they feel. In terms of humidity, again, the yellow part is how much more comfortable in terms of humidity it is. And on the third circle, the same goes for the yellow in terms of air quality. So as you can see, for all of those 3 circles, there's a lot of results for all of those 10 houses. Moving on. Okay, so since there's all this renovation wave going on, we were wondering what we can do from Forte's side to be able to bring people together in order for them to connect with each other and be able to make the renovation thing even more simple. So we decided that we should create a one-stop shop marketplace exactly for this purpose. So our one-stop shop marketplace is designed to make the energy renovation process easy and very transparent for everyone. So especially for those aiming to improve energy efficiency in their homes or in the public buildings that they work at or that they own, for example. It's a centralized platform where building owners can find everything they need, from professional services like contractors and technology providers to financing options like green loans. It simplifies the renovation process by bringing together all the necessary services and information in one place. It pretty much provides easy access to subsidies and green financing options, helping homeowners and building owners in general to understand how they can cover renovation costs through the savings and they will gain from energy efficient improvements. The benefits, again, it's a collaboration hub that connects building owners to contractors to financiers to policymakers to designers. We also have a knowledge hub where there's a dedicated section actually that covers all the legislation policies regarding the renovations in each one of our pilot countries. It's very transparent since it enables comparison of renovation packages and providers among each other. And of course, there's a lot of information about the alternative financing part that I mentioned. Moving on. Here you can see a brief video of how we have created this platform, how this platform looks like. Because we have two main categories of target groups, which one is the owners, the home and building owners, and the other one is the providers. We decided that we should create a different homepage for each one of those two target groups. So the one that you're seeing right now is the one for the providers. So the marketplace functions for both of these categories are that owners can publish renovation requests and providers can respond with their offers. The renovation actors can publish collaboration requests. Again, there's the knowledge hubs. There's the knowledge hub which you can find all the legislation practices. And of course, there's access to the alternative financing options that I mentioned. And the impact is to boost the renovation demand and awareness, to make things more simple, to reduce project cost, and of course, to support EU's renovation wave and Green Deal targets. So if you go a slide next to that, the next slide, you can find this QR code where you can scan and find and visit the marketplace. You're more than welcome to register, either if you're a building owner or a provider that wants to grow your business. I think that's pretty much all from our side. You can find us in all social media and we'll be happy to collaborate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christina, for the presentation of the overview of Fortesi project. I think we have 3 different projects that are at different stages. So Fortesi, I think, is the one that is closest to be completed, while we have on the other end of the spectrum project that are right now at the beginning. We now move to the second Q&A, and I see there is a little bit of an exchange on the chat that I would like to just pick up on with the 3 participants, if you're happy for it. So there was a question raised about the participation of the value chain stakeholders, and this was particularly for DECO2, because obviously the beneficiary were not part of the project. And I saw that Philippos has wrote a little bit of an answer, but I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit more so that everyone is aware of what you were discussing and the point of view of this, which I think is really relevant.
I can be rather brief. Thank you for the question. I mean, in addition to what I've answered, and it's easy for everyone to read, I think the core thing is that, I mean, we did work with established innovation clusters. So these are cities where it was a bit easier for more innovative approaches to take place, and where it's a bit easier to, through the networks and establish working conditions, relationships, to allow for a more, let's say, free, even deregulated as the word, approach. So there's a bit more trust there. There's good environment. So the core idea is that we start from locations where this is actually possible, and we do all the innovations, experimentation, the living labs, the collaborative approaches, and then on the policy side we do have some guides that will allow this method, these materials, this approach to be replicated in other areas across Europe. Most importantly, in the 3 replication sites that we have that were mentioned on the map, like the Netherlands, Greece, and Germany. So it's important to start from a solid base and not try to find partners in whichever place we might happen to have a living lab.
Thank you for that. And I think there is another point about the regulatory sandbox, which I think it's a hot topic, because I think that part on the regularization it's pretty important. And I see that you answered the question. I don't know if there is anything else you would like to add on how you worked with the sandboxes.
The first part is what was now mentioned, the good established relationships. And the other one is that sandboxes, they also happen in a university environment, which by definition has a bit more freedom. So that allows us to proceed. It's not just the, let's say, whatever approach, it's a very structured one. So there is a lot of discussions, a lot of surveys, a lot of data collection. It's a step-by-step approach to actually achieve this, because of course we need to have the safety standards, and every action we make needs to be in the process of eventually achieving certification and meeting the industry standards that we actually have. So that's the additional reply. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see there are a couple of questions for Ioannis. I think you already picked up on one of them. So how do you ensure public engagement on the long term, so potentially beyond the end of the project, if there is any specific plan for that?
Yeah, I wrote something quite general in the chat, but the truth is, and the interesting thing with building stories, okay, first of all, we use the building stories vehicle or the talking buildings, which is a new version of this approach. So by following, what we have noticed is that when we trigger and we start asking citizens to tell their stories that are related to particular buildings, then there is an initiation of a very vivid discussion that starts involving on itself. So we noticed that especially in Facebook, we have started three groups, and those groups have been enlarged and continue on their own. And for us, this is very successful and very happy moment to see that people are continue to exchange information and stories related to the buildings, because they connect their own experiences and memories with the actual condition and use of buildings. The other thing is that through building stories, we try to create cluster or to participate in other clusters that addressing the aspects of how buildings has been evolving through time in different aspects, from architecture, from material point of view, from current uses, other uses, and so on. So clustering and by giving the floor to citizens is the two methodologies that we follow, and we plan to continue with that.
Thank you, Ioannis. I think there is another question now for Fortesi related to exploitation. So the renovation packages, for how do you see offering them in the future after the completion of the project? Is that going to go through the marketplace, or do you foresee any other channel?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be completely honest, since, as Julia mentioned earlier, we are currently going towards the end of the project. So the maintaining of the marketplace and the packages themselves is still under discussion internally throughout the whole consortium, since we're a lot of partners, we're like 26 partners. But in any case, the marketplace, as it's now running, in the way that's now running, we are totally like motivating people to come and register and make their connections and then their networking there, because the marketplace itself, in the model that it is right now, would not be really involved in the contracting phase after that. So once you have, let's say, once you have connected with your provider or the homeowner, if you're a provider already, would, you know, be your thing then to collaborate, to actually collaborate. So the answer to that would be that we don't know yet. Where the thing is that it is yet to be defined, but the maintaining, I mean, but regarding the networking, it's still running and it will keep running at least until the end of the project.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know that at the end of the project is always timing to think about the future and what is going to happen beyond the future, beyond the project itself. I see there is another question regarding data, but I think, Philippos, you've picked that up. Is there any other burning question? Anything that you would like to add to the chat, or any question that you would like to ask each other between the three projects, between the three speakers? Any curiosity that the others have raised, or any things that you have seen in your project that you see you want to clarify in the others, how they're tackling it? Obviously, you're the speakers, but you also have the opportunity to ask questions. Okay, so I take that as a no. I'm just going to give it one more minute for the chat to see if anything comes up. Otherwise, we're going to close this up. All right, I'll still keep an eye on my chat in case something comes up. Thank you all for joining us today for this webinar. We do hope that all the session has been giving you some useful insight. And as mentioned earlier, we encourage you all to go and have a look at all the websites, because, for example, what Christina just said about the next step that they're currently working on, I'm sure they will end up in the Sincere website as well, sorry, in the Fortisi website as well, all the updates from Decode2 and Sincere, the same way for STARtrack. On behalf of STARtrack and all the partners of the consortium, we would like to thank our speaker for their contribution and all the participants for your engagement. And we look forward to continue this conversation and this collaboration with this project. And we hope that we wish you all a great rest of your day. So thank you so much and have a brilliant remainder of the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.